Why did I leave Booktok? Why did you quit? I'm going to explain that. When I first joined Booktok, there were only a couple 100,000 people under the hashtag. Booktok was founded by the book nerds. You know, the people who got made fun of because they like books. Haha, you're a loser. You must be a know-it-all. You like books. During 2020, the year that never actually happened. But during this time, a lot of readers and indie authors found refuge on Booktok. Booktok was a much better community for people who want to talk and share books and books that they're writing about. In the beginning, people were having very constructive conversations around books. This was before saying you don't like a book was an attack against the author and all of its readers. This was when we could have actual discussions about books without people turning it into whatever the hell it is now. When we first joined Booktok, a lot of the popular Booktok authors were not on the scene yet. A few of them were. They were there. But they weren't what they are now. And as Booktok started growing in popularity, then came the cool kids. I have nothing against people reading. I think more people should be reading to develop critical thinking skills, or just reading in general. But then came the bubblegum readers. I'm going to call them bubblegum readers, and I'm going to do my best to explain what a bubblegum reader is. Booktok was full of the book nerds. The people who built the community were full of book nerds. People who've been reading before it was trendy. And then came all the bubblegum readers, right? These are the people who complain that books have too many words in them. These are the people who complain that books have too many descriptions in them. These are the people who confess to skipping chunks of paragraph because it was just too much. These are the people who don't think reading is political. Reading should be fun. When Booktok became profitable, when it became marketable, when it became the brand Booktok, that was when influencers started joining the space. Influencers with hundreds and thousands of followers. Influencers who just wanted to read the book and get the reaction out now. Some people are only reading books because they're trendy. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be part of the conversation around a certain popular book. Everybody wants the viral video. Everybody wants the clicks. Everybody wants the access and the fame and notoriety that comes with being the Booktok account. And because Booktok has become marketable, it's become a trend, we're seeing an influx of the cool kids who made fun of the book nerds becoming the face of Booktok. We're seeing a lot of the cool kids enter the space. They don't read anything other than what's trending. We see this with a lot of influencers, right? The hot guys that come into Booktok. They're only touching books that they know are going to get them female followers who like those books. But then you get content creators who are actually talking and discussing books, doing what Booktok was about. They're the villain now. They're the problem now because they don't want people to enjoy things. Because the bubblegum book talkers, the bubblegum book readers, they just want to read the trending book, pick it up, not think about it, read the book, enjoy, talk about it with their friends, and carry on with life and find the next thing. Bubblegum, you chew it, you spit it out, you find another one, you chew it again and spit it out, rinse and repeat. But you see, when the book nerds pick up these bubblegum books and they read these books and they analyze these books, what happens? These readers get offended. Hashtag triggered. If a book nerd points out some major story problems with the bubblegum book that they love. There are some books that if you've been on Booktok, you know you don't talk about this author or their work because their fans will come after you. And that's where the anti-intellectualism is coming from. Books were meant to be discussed. Books were meant to be read, analyzed, and talked about amongst other peers in the space. Before movies and cinema and streaming, books were film and TV. That was entertainment. People bonded over books. People discussed books. People analyzed books. People have been analyzing books for hundreds of years until the bubblegum books started appearing. Books that exist solely for entertainment. Therefore, you cannot analyze or critique anything the author does. Because once you do, you're killing the vibe. Once you point out story flaws, you're killing the vibe. Let people enjoy things. I don't care if the author's problematic. I just enjoy the book. And it's been getting worse over the years. It's been getting worse. At least back in 2020, when these bubblegum readers and authors would have poor takes, most people would agree that it was a poor take. But I think the book nerds are tired and exhausted of repeating ourselves over and over again. And it has created this aura of anti-intellectualism. And it's what's killing book talk. It's not fun anymore because everything is content. And you can't talk about books anymore. You have to like the book that the popular kids on Booktok like. And personally, I cannot pretend. Not that I was pretending before, but I just don't want to do it anymore. It's not a vibe. And you know, I'm Gen Z. One thing I'm going to do is quit. Because I can't do it anymore, guys. I cannot. There are only so many times we can talk about Sarah J. Maas. There are only so many times we can talk about J.K. Rowling. There are only so many times we can talk about why writing problematic, racist, transphobic, homophobic, and other phobics and ableist stuff into your books is like not a vibe. I like the idea of saying something once and not having to repeat myself again. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this page, and also talking about my books because I need to sell those books. Shameless promo. These are my books. But yeah, guys, like I could not force myself to be in that space anymore. It was extremely depressing and exhausting. People can be insufferable. So if you've been on YouTube the whole time, if you've been on the YouTube book community the whole time, and this is your first time seeing me, hello. I know I should have done this in the beginning of the video, but I am Emmanuel E. Osai, dark fantasy, horror, and apparently romance author. I already plugged my books. Okay, we're just gonna do it again. These are my books. And that's why I left Booktok. That's why I'm never, as Elsa said, I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube for good skin.